Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We will give another minute for other participants, and then we get started. All right, everyone, let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's webinar. I'm thrilled to guide you through the latest and greatest features of Appulate and on how you can get started with our system. My name is Anastasia Gumenikova. You can reach out to me using one of these email addresses. I will be happy to um, assist you with any platform related inquiries. And if you have any technical related questions, feel free to use the third email in this list to reach out to our support team. All right, so the first thing to start, we will use appulate.com /browse link to get redirected to main Appulate website. And once you are there, you need to
You're not
click
sharing
this.
your screen. I don't see your screen, Anastasia. You're not sharing it. There you go.
All right. So once you are on the main Appulate website, you need to click this login button, and then you will be redirected to the login page where you need to enter your email address and password. If you are new in the system and you just started, you can just click the sign up and enter details about your agency. And then the system will send you a reset password details. Once these details are completed, you are ready to move on. Another useful button here is forgot password. You can use this button again to reset your password. In case you forgot it, it also will be sent to your mailbox. So I'm going to use my test email address to log in. And once you are in the system, you will be redirected here. This is your main landing page. If you are brand new, this is what you will see. And if you previously worked with the system will display view records, your insured records in this list. In Appulate, we have two
Anastasia, go a
ways
little
on
slower,
how to
please.
create records. In Appulate, you can create your insurance record manually by clicking this button. And alternative methods, something that saves you a bunch of time, you can use by bridging Accord form from your AMS right to the system. For this, you need to install one tool on your computer, and you can find this tool under the Tools button here. And this is the third option that is called Appulate Uplink. You can click here and find all instructions that you will need in order to install this tool on your computer. This tool is compatible with a variety of AMS. So once you have Appulate Uplink installed on your computer, you can simply try to bridge the data from your Accord form that is in your AMS right into Appulate. And let me show you the way you can do so. So for example, I have my Accord form and Currently, it is open in my regular reader just because I don't have AMS, but it works absolutely the same way with any other AMS systems. The only thing you need to do is to try to print this document as you usually do it with any other document. And instead of the regular printer that you may have in this list, you need to select Appulate uplink. Once it is select, you are ready to move on. But just in case, I recommend checking paper size. It should be compatible with US letter. So now we are good. We just simply click print. Then the system asks us to enter our credentials. We are good to go. So I just click send. And now it takes a few seconds to redirect me to a separate browser tab. As you can see, now we are in a separate browser tab, and this is the business line I had in my Accord form. The system automatically identified it. If you work with generic specific business line, you can specify the business line by clicking this drop down here. And once you're ready, you can just click continue, and then you will get the option Appulate. So the further step will be just click send, and the system will take a few seconds to bridge all information to the system. Now you can see that we've just created a cool request automatically. Basically, the system completed everything for us. And you can see in the upper left hand corner the name of our insured. You can click here and we will be redirected to the insured page. Here you can check the profile details. This information can be changed by clicking this edit button. So make sure that you clicked saved once you made all changes. And to the right of it, you can find your quote request for workers' compensation. If you want to have another quote request that will be associated with this insured, you can take another Accord form and bridge it to the system the same way we've just tried it, or you can do it manually by clicking this button. Once you've checked everything within this page, you can move on to your pull request. Simply click this gray box, and then you will be redirected back to your quote request page. What else is important here is this folder icon, which states for workers' compensation. Then we have the calendar icon for effective and expiration dates. My dates are a little bit outdated, so I'm going to change them together with you very quickly in just a few clicks. What else is interesting here is once you change the effective date, the expiration date changes automatically. So we click save and we have up-to-date information here. Now I want to check all data that was breached from my Accord form to the system. I go to this insured tab here, and this is the questionnaire that I had in my Accord form. And you can see that some information that I had in my document already listed here. Of course, I can change this information if it's needed, and I can add some other details. For example, I want description, but what else is great here is that I can even send several questions to my client, to my insured, so they could provide me with this information. We have this great button that is called Ask Insured. I can click here, and then I specify my insured details, and then I move on and get redirected to the place where I can specify which questions I want to send to my client. For example, I want to change to get some changes in my description. So I select this option, and then I send an email. My insured will be redirected through this email. From this email, they will be redirected to this page where body part will be included. And here you can see the question that we've just selected. So once the insured completes this information, it automatically synchronized with my Appulate account. So when I open my Appulate account, I can just simply check the information and move on with my quote request. So This is the way how you can save a bunch of time and move on with your call request. Now, when everything is completed and everything is okay and you're ready to move on with your call request, you click this call request button, and this is the place where you start working with markets. Before we will move on to the markets, I'd like to mention different types of submissions that are available in Appulate. You can find this information under the button Help. This is the option that is called Submission Matrix. So once you click here, you get redirected to the page Submission Matrix. You can see the list of markets that are available in Appulate are listed in the left column. Lines above, these are different business lines that these markets works with, and the images above, they state for different types of submissions. If you see that this market, that some markets are marked with this orange clover icon, it means that these are open brokerage markets. They are our partners. So you can use these markets to submit to them and to get a quote without being appointed, but only if you want to get a quote. Another type of submission is Appulate. These markets are marked with this green clover icon, and they are also partners with us. Um, you can move on with them if you have if you are appointed. We have one another great submission that is marked with this green clover icon plus this lightning bolt, and we call it an instant style of submission. Let me scroll it a little bit to show you where you can find this icon like this. Like for example, we have it with dual. Yeah. So this is the time where you immediately receive your submission results, whether it is approved or declined. You will see it immediately upon your submission. So, and if the result is successful, you will get your quote in just a few clicks. And another type of submission is a web link. This is a type of submission where your data that you store in Appulate is redirected to a carrier's website. We have different level of access. So if you see that is one box, it means that only your login details will be synchronized. If you see two boxes, general information will be synchronized with the carrier website. Three boxes accept Accord form details, and four boxes include market default Accord forms as well. This is something that is available for our premium subscription. So if you think that it's a match, you can reach out to me, and I will be happy to connect you with our representatives. Okay. Um, but let's move on to the call request and try to submit. And I'm going to show you how you can submit with the instant quote. For this, we just click this plus button, and then the system opens a pop-up box where you can see the first page is my markets. These are the markets your agency work with. Let's select one market here, and below you can see open brokerage markets. You can also use these markets to bind with them, but yeah, please make sure that you are only no, sorry, not binding, but if you want to get a quote with them, yeah, and you can move on with them without being appointed, only if you want to get a quote. So I'm adding one market, and once it is here, I just simply click start quote. Then I get redirected to the market-specific questionnaire page. Um, Above, you can see some sections are marked with red numbers. Um, these are required questions that should be answered in order to move on. You can click this button, show required questions only, and the system will display these questions to you, and in questionnaire they will be marked with red asterisk. So let's complete this information together just to check the way it works. So once you complete this questionnaire, red asterisks as well as red numbers, they just disappear. Once you When everything is completed, no asterisks and no red numbers are displayed. We just click request quote. The system takes a few seconds to send all your results to carrier server. So let's give the system a few seconds to think, and voila, that's our result. You can see the status has just changed to quote prepared, and we have our quote listed here. Um, this is the way you can work with instant style of submission. Once the quote is here, you can download it on your computer. Let's also try to do it together and check the way it will be displayed. So this is my quote. I am ready to share it with my insured. I can move on with this button, but let's imagine that I have several quotes in this request. So I want to send several quotes at once to my insured. So I go to this compare quotes page, and here I can click the select all button and then share with insured. So once I share this information with insured, my insured will receive this page where all quotes will be listed. Let's imagine that I have three, and I will have three different columns listed here. So I sent like a sort of menu list to my clients so they could check and choose which one works best for them. So that's the way you can share the information with the insured. Other additional material that might be useful for you upon your quote request, you can also find under this triple lines menu. So um, loss runs, this is something that you also may find useful, and activity log. And let me also elaborate on what activity log is. Activity log is the page where you can check all activity that was listed with this insured and this particular quote request. All information, time, and user, for example, if you work with your CSR, will be listed here. That's the main information on how you can move on with your call request. And let's imagine that you also want to bind. So for this, you can use the quote that is here. So, and then you just click this three-dot menu button. And within this menu, you will get the option bind. I'm going to use mark as bound just because I'm not appointed with this market, and and I'm using only test resources. So I mark it as bound, and then I mark it again. And then the system generates a policy page for me where all information is listed. We have a summary box where you can edit the information, but what is great here is that under this summary box, you can create an automatic remarketing. Imagine that in the next year, you decided to work with the same insured and have the same information about the quote request. The system will do everything for you, and the only information that you will need to update is the dates, plus you also need to add markets. So you can also use it to save some time for you in the future. And another thing that we also recently launched is the certificates. Now in Appulate, we have an option to work with certificates of insurance. So this is the place where you can specify, you can issue certificate, and let me go back, just one moment, and share it with with your insured. So for this, I just click this create certificate button. Then I specify my insured details, and then just move on. Then I select policy, add some questions. If you have the majority of questions already filled in the system, they will be displayed for you here. But certificate number is what you are adding right here, just because we are creating it right here. Once all this information is completed, you can just click this complete, and then you can view your certificates in the system. So this is the certificate we've just created. Let's check the way it looks. We can just click on it and download. Let's take a look the way it will be uh, prepared. This is the certificate, so something that you also use to work with your clients. Other options that are available with the certificate, you can download them, send them by email, or delete. So that's the main aspects that you can do right in the system. And another thing I also wanted to highlight, in Appulate, we recently released one amazing functionality that is also available for you, that allows to collect information, collect the questions, right from your clients, and all this information will be saved in your Appulate account. So basically what the system, what you do, we create links that you share
Anastasia,
with
can you
your
open the Help
clients.
Center article for it? Show them the Help Center article. That way you can
uh,
show them something.
yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate the way it works using my test link. So
Oh, okay, go ahead.
let's Yeah, let's imagine that we created a link for workers' compensation for you, and then you share this link with your client. And this is the link that your client receives. This is the first page your insured sees. So we can complete this information. For example, these details and email address. Let's quickly also add this. So once it is here, your client just clicks next and then get redirected to the questionnaire page. And this is the basic information you will need for your quote request, and your insured can complete everything for you. Let's try to add anything just for test purposes. For example, street and description. Yeah, so when this information is completed and your insured clicks next and adds a note and then complete, you open your Appulate account. So let me refresh my page, and you receive a new record with all data already listed. So you can see that your client has just created an insured record with the insured information for you, with the quote request itself listed, plus data entered. You can check it under the tab insured. Basically everything what you do by yourself, but your customer completed it for you. Um, yeah, if you feel that it's something that might be useful in your work routine, feel free to let us know, and we will be happy to create this link for your agency. And I think I completed my main step here, and I am passing the word to my colleague who works with markets, and he will be happy to tell you more about our partners.
Hi, everybody. My name is David King. I'm going to go ahead and present here in just a moment. Make sure I get that right. Can you unshare your screen, Anastasia? Thank you. Can you make me a presenter? It's preventing me from doing anything. Oh, never mind, I got it. There it is. Okay, great. All right, everybody. Anastasia, can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a little deeper dive. We typically don't do this on these meetings, but I want to make sure everybody that joined today really gets a better sense of where our markets are at. So I'm going to go through a couple of different screens that Anastasia didn't cover. Normally, we don't go this deep, but I really wanted to make sure everybody today got to walk away understanding this a little better. Okay, the first one is the submission matrix. She did a wonderful job going over this. A few things you can do in here as well. You can sort by personal or commercial lines. So if you do commercial only, it just makes it a little easier to read. Um, Again, these web link markets are um, for a premium service only. But if you find that you commonly submit to, Allstate Business Auto, or some of these that you're seeing here, the time savings is about 40 minutes per submission. So it's definitely in your best interest to reach out to us and let us get you connected with our sales team, because this could save you a huge amount of time on your workload as you go through with these. When we send out a recording of today's video for everybody, we're going to include these links for you as well, so that you have quick access to them. If you wanted to act before then, the Help Center has these as well. So right under Help here, you're going to see Submission Matrix, Market Directory. Like, this is what we're going over right now. So they're readily available for you as well. But yeah, feel free to look over this a little bit more. There's over 50 different lines of business that we have either partners for or we have connections to on the platform. And you can see it's lots and lots of partners. Now, if they're not on this list, they're going to be an email only, which again requires um, uh, our premium service for. But we know you can already email, so that's not really a big win for you. Another way to look at this as well is the market directory. So let's say you're looking for business auto, which I know is tough in many states right now. So if you're looking for not business owner, sorry, we do commercial auto. There we go. So this will kind of show you over here. It shows you upgrade or standard. If it says standard, that means that the carrier is paying for your access, so you don't have to pay anything to submit to that market, so long as you're appointed, or if it's an open brokerage. If it says upgrade, like this one here, Allstate, for example, this is what I was referring to. This would require that premium membership. But this just is a different way to look at it than the submission matrix. And the last way to look at our markets in the system is under our markets tab. So when you very first log into Appulate, you're going to see a whole list of anything you've worked with before. Up at the very top, I'm just going to go over to the markets tab. There's two buttons here. There's one called selected and one called available. The selected tab is any markets you've used in the past. So for example, when Anastasia used employers testing earlier, that would have been moved now to the selected tab. So in my case, I'm just going to show you the available. Now, right now, all of yours are disabled with the email. It'll be grayed out right now because you have a standard account. What I would recommend doing when you're looking through these, just to find out, what to submit to easier, just unclicking the web link for now. But what's really neat that you can do also is you can just click on one of these just to see what connections we have, right? Maybe there's markets in here that you want to use that you do have an appointment with. And again, that's when a great time to segue to our sales team to look at our premium service. But if you just want to focus on what we have for Appulate e-submission, this is right here. If you have any appointments with any of these, you get free access to quote directly to them through the Appulate system, bridging in your cords, saving you all that time. Beyond that, this is all we have for markets at the moment. We're constantly expanding. We just recently launched Flow last week, which is a cybersecurity market. They're open brokerage as well. So if you need to get cybersecurity, we're working on getting a webinar scheduled for them very soon. Next week, we have another webinar for dual flood. So if you are looking for a new flood provider or want to check out their offering, they do great access coverage. We're going to have a webinar on that next week too. So feel free to join that next week. You should receive an email in the coming days on that. That's all I had for today. Anastasia, did you want to add any more today? And then we'll go into a couple questions.
Yeah, I think that's a great time to check the questions.
Yeah, I've answered a few of them earlier. We had to give a list of carriers you work with, Victoria asked. And I said, went to a deep dive like I did here. Are we a wholesaler? It's a very common question we get. Are we a wholesaler? Well, fortunately, we're not a wholesaler. We're a submission platform, but we do have many partner markets that you can submit with directly through our platform, as well as we connect you to other markets, so long as you have those appointments for the premium service, of course. What if we're not appointed with some of the carriers you use? So unfortunately, we don't assist with any appointments. We're not like what an aggregator would be. What we do though is we do have, like I said, open brokerage markets that are willing to accept new appointments very easily. A lot of them have very low requirements, such as you submit one business a year or something like that, right? I mean, it's really, really easy standards to get into. Um, Victoria said, great job, Anastasia. Uh,
Thank you,
does
Victoria.
does the standard account cost anything? I do not have an account. So Victoria, it is completely free. So with the standard account, it's free to use. Like I said, the markets are paying for your access. They pay us fees every month so that people like yourselves have access to log in and submit to them free. And it still goes like to give you an example. Let's say you used Tokyo Marine, right? If you're already using Tokyo Marine, you can still log into their portal and use it just like normal. But once you find out how easy it is to use it on Appulate, it's going to save your submission time down or cut your submission time down by almost half just because of the way we get the data in the system. So, these tools are in place to really save you time. Um, do you guys have any, do you guys pay the agency commissions? Amanda, we don't get involved with any commissions because we're not involved with any of the binding or anything. Think of us as the technology middleman, right? Kind of like you use your computer to connect to the internet. We're not the internet, right? We're just that computer. So we're just a bridge to connect you to things. Russ sounds like an excellent tool. You bet, Russ. We're going to track usage, you guys, to see. Hopefully, you guys can. In the system, we're going to watch to see if any of you guys submit over the next few weeks. Hopefully, we see some submissions from you guys. That'd be great. But if you have any troubles, Anastasia is going to be emailing a copy of this out today, as well as be your primary contact. And that email is agentambassador@appulate.com. Or if it's just easier to remember, you can email support@appulate.com and get to us as well. Is there a
Or you
list
can
of
always,
carriers? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, or
Sorry, Anastasia, go
yeah, I
ahead.
just wanted, sorry, I just wanted to mention this bright orange button that is redirecting to me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, at the top. Yeah, book a training. Yes, great, great. Um, let's see. Is there a list of carriers that you can bribe me for New York only? I cannot log into the account. So our system right now, what'll happen is when you log into the system and you start a quote, right now we're disqualifying. We have a lot of logic in place, but it's not perfect. It should disqualify you from a lot of the business that you can't write in certain states. So, like employers writes all 50 states, for example, but let's say they didn't write a certain state. The system would not allow you to process the quote in that state for the partner markets. Now, if you're a premium customer, some of the systems in place don't have those safeguards and just allows you to go to their website and quote. We can't stop that. But if it's an Appulate style quote or e-submission, it has the logic in it right now that it will prevent you from being able to quote. Does the login into a standard account cost anything? Uh, yeah, I covered this a little earlier. It does not cost anything. And if you don't have an account, Anastasia did cover that at the very beginning. Victoria, I will have Anastasia reach out to you via email after the meeting and assist you with the login at the very beginning, because it sounds like you might have missed that part. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, Anastasia, so you just need to reach out to her.
Sure, sure.
Anybody else? Oh, sorry. I'll let you, Anastasia, ask the last questions and finish it up.
Yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We can give you a few minutes. And yeah, if you will have any other questions after the webinar, feel free to reach out to me using one of two emails that were listed in the beginning, or to our support team. And in case it's any platform related questions, either our support team or they will redirect you to me. And we will also send you the recording of today's webinar in the next day, starting from today. So yeah, thank you everyone for, oh, and I can see another, do you breach with app, applied Epic? I'm not sure if it is a specific version of Epic, but you can breach the information from any AMS to Appulate. The way you can do so, simply try to print Accord form. And if you have our Appulate uplink tool installed, you can select Appulate instead of your regular printer within the printing pop-up window. Yeah,
We're very
yeah,
familiar
yeah,
with
Victoria.
Epic, Victoria. Yes, a lot of our customers use Epic. You print the Accord, use Uplink, and it bridges the data in perfectly.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking that we have if we even have an article on how to install our Applet uplink tool, so it could work with Epic. But yeah, this is something I need, I need to double check. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to also use our help center. David, can you please show how our participants can find the help center? You can find it under the help button, the first option. And if you just started, we also have get started guide. It's located at the bottom of this page. So you can also use it. It contains basic articles on what you like on the first steps that you can use to start working with Appulate.
Question for Virginia, Easy Links. Yep, very familiar with Easy Links. The one thing, and they had a problem about 4 or 5 years ago with Easy Links, but we've resolved it since they've kind of fixed their problem since then. But it used to print an image, not a PDF. So just make sure that if you're using Easy Links, and I don't know the setting, I'm sure it's been, like I said, I haven't heard any problems over the past few years about it, but just make sure it's printing a PDF, not an image, because early on, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago, that was an issue. All right, I think that's it for everybody. Any last questions? They fixed it. Okay, great. Looks like
And
Victoria's
I
got
can
another
see, yeah.
question. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Anastasia.
If you send the insured missing questions from the Accords when they complete the questions on your website, does it complete to Epic? So when you send questionnaire from Appulate and the insured completes questionnaire, it saves only in Appulate. Yeah, and it doesn't go to Epic because we don't have this kind of connection with your AMS. We can bridge the data to Appulate, but not vice versa. Yeah, so it doesn't work the opposite way.
All right, any final questions from anybody? Great questions today, Victoria. Thank you for participation.
Agree.
No, we do appreciate the questions. A lot of people just don't know what to ask, so we appreciate that. All right, everybody. Well, I think if Anastasia, you're good, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your input today, for your questions, and for partaking today's webinar. We will be in touch soon via email. Have a wonderful rest of the day and this week. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.